yoga today. So this week I'm into functional movement. Sometimes we do energetics and breathing, and this week I'm into functional movement. So we want to talk. I'm going to mute everybody, but you can unmute yourself anytime if you have something to say. Don't really need anything today, just yourself and your big butt. We're going to talk about your big butt today. Yeah, Tina's like, I got this one. I got this. Did anybody, you can show me hands. Do you remember when we first started yoga? And that would have been like the 90s for me. I'm sure some of you started even before I was born. We used to do bridge pose, and they used to say, relax your butt. Did you ever hear that? Did you ever hear a teacher say, like, when you're doing a bridge, relax your butt? They used to say this all the time. We don't want to relax our butt. So so that's what everyone used to say. You used to go into a bridge and they're like, just relax your butt. There's a difference between clenching and squeezing your glutes and activating your glutes, Same with kind of any muscle. There's a clench or a squeeze, which implies that there's compression, but then there's like a nice healthy way to do it. And so I'm going to stand up just for a sec so you can see. But you can stay sitting. Your butt is responsible. Your glutes are huge muscles. They're really quite big, as you know, and they're responsible for hip extension. Your hip is in here. This is your hip joint. This is called hip flexion. When your thigh comes close to your body, when you lift that leg, that's extension, that's hip flexion, excuse me. And extension is when your leg moves behind you. So you might even be able to see my butt gets hard there. My glutes harden and take this movement of the leg pushing behind you. So anytime, it might be like this, right? Right now I'm in hip flexion, but I'm going into extension here, making this nice straight line. So probably the most common thing you know how to use your butt is for the squats, right? Is that push from here into standing, pushing your leg behind you. Also running, right? Or riding a bike. This is me riding a bike standing, but that push behind you is using your glutes. And it's a big, important muscle that I think yoga neglects to speak about. And we're just going to focus our attention on it a little bit today, but go through things you already know. And when you put your attention into the activation of a muscle that maybe we weren't thinking about, then you'll find an awakening. It's common to have what they call lazy glutes, muscles that don't fire in there. Lazy, that's a Robin laugh. Because I'm talking about a lazy ass, right? It's a lazy ass, is your lazy butt. So we don't want to be lazy butts. We want to connect to the feeling in your glutes because they support the whole back of your pelvis. Look at that. It's on the back of your body, the base of your pelvis. It's really important for stability, especially as we age. What's the scariest thing that might happen just in your day-to-day stuff? What do you want to prevent? Is tripping and falling, right? Tripping and falling. So if you've got, and we should start at a young age learning to prevent this, right? Knowing how to catch ourselves when we might trip and fall is to have not a lazy ass, but a nice, strong, stable bottom. So lie down on your back and pull your knees to your chest. That was my little speech, my little intro. We're going to start with therapeutics, and then we'll go into movement. So pull your knees to your chest and lengthen out your lower spine just like you always do by rocking your legs side to side. Feel your shoulders and head relax into the ground. And let's center your legs. Let's start with a stretch and a breath. Hold your right knee to your chest and extend your left leg long. So the left leg is extending right now. If you push your heel, your left heel a little bit into the ground, you might be able to already feel your glutes engaging. You can use your left hand and sneak it to grab your butt a little bit and feel some engagement. Take a nice deep breath right here. In through the nose, and out the mouth. And then switch legs. Pull your left knee in. Gently press your right heel into the floor. It doesn't matter if your right leg fully straightens or not. You push your heel into the floor almost like you would lift your hips off the floor, except they're not going to actually go anywhere. You're just engaging. And we'll let a deep breath travel through the body here, in through the nose and out the mouth. Good. And then pull both knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side a little again to lengthen the spine, moving your hips away from your shoulders. And then we're going to take your feet to the floor like you would for bridge, but I want you to take them a little bit wider than normal. Not as wide as the mat, but almost to the edges of the mat. And take your arms along your sides with your palms down, but not hugged in too tight, maybe about 10 inches away from your body. Hands move 10 inches away. You're going to spread your toes and press the balls and the heels of the feet into the floor as you elevate your hips. Go ahead and press your hips up and then lower them back down. Keep your chest open and just do this a few times, feeling nice even weight on your feet, on the inside and outside edge. And as you lift your hips up, I want you to feel a squeeze through your glutes, that the movement is being initiated from a squeeze of your glutes. So think of, sometimes I like to think of my sitting bones gently squeezing together, just lifting and lowering a few times and breathing as you go. Last time, lift up, hold here. We're not trying to lift and open the chest quite yet, so there's pretty much a straight line from my knees to my shoulders. I'm not in the back bend yet. Now, can you let your left hip drop an inch lower than the right by relaxing your glute muscle? You might feel it dangle a little bit. Do more work on the right side, and then squeeze your left glute to lift it back up. Try it. Give it a try. If you're not feeling the engagement, you're going to have to touch your butt. Let your right hip drop down an inch and try to relax your right glute and then squeeze it to lift back up. Now see if you can relax both glutes. You might sink a little bit lower to the ground and you'll feel more work being done in your legs, and I also feel it quite a bit in my back. So can you let the butt relax and then squeeze it again, maybe lift up another inch? I'm going to take a peek. I want to see what everyone's doing. Let it lower an inch, relax your butt, and then squeeze it and lift it back up. And do that one more time. Nice, loose, dangly, lazy butt first. Feel where the work is being compensated then. Feel it, especially thighs. And then squeeze and lift back up. Good. Lower your body back to the floor. Lower your hips down. Pull your knees in to stretch your back again. Lengthen out. Did you feel that relax and engagement? Stick an arm or a hand up in the air and give me a signal if you got it. Yeah. Cool. So we want to have engagement without clenching too hard. So again, it's that kind of 80% effort. Let's go in, but I want you to bring your feet closer together this time. So more narrow than you would for normal bridge pose, a little narrower than your hips. Plant your arms, and we're going to lift. Press your feet down and feel like you're sliding your knees forward and then lower, hips back to the floor. So we're just going to lift and lower a few times. I like to keep my eyes on the ceiling. It helps me keep an anchor at my shoulders and my head, feeling weighted there. You're trying to be even also on the edges of the feet. And as I lift my hips up, it's not just my legs, it's not just my back, but I'm sort of squeezing the sitting bones together. And also at the top, you might feel a wrap around. So think about your butt pockets on your jeans, that wrapping around of the butt pockets. Go up and down a couple more times. So just bringing attention, awareness, and awakening. I guess the 3 A's. Attention, awareness, awakening of the fibers, that activation of the glutes. Come back up into the sky, not super high. We're not in the back bend. We're just connecting to the butt. Do you want to drop one hip again? Drop one hip down. Let it lower by relaxing that glute and then squeeze it back up. And then lower the other hip down an inch lower so you looked, your hips are not level. And then squeeze it back up and lower your hips back to the floor. Give your knees a squeeze and a stretch. I saw Emma doing this. This is another thing. You'll want to stretch your legs up to the sky because your hamstrings are assisting all of that action as well. So that's why she's probably putting her legs in the sky. It feels better. They need a little stretch, a little break. We're going to do one more, and I want you to do feet parallel this time. Just your regular bridge pose distance. Arms engaged to help take the work away a little bit, to help share the work. We're going to press the feet down and lift your hips. Breathing in and out. And just lift and lower a couple of times. Again, just focused especially on the lift. When your hips go up, feel like you're pulling the bottom of your sitting bones together. Sometimes I'll say it like you're trying to not go to the bathroom, right? You're holding in through the bathroom. It's a different set of muscles, but they're closely related. They're geographically closely related. And if we can tire out these glutes by lifting and lowering a little bit, we'll know where they are. We'll know where they are, and we can engage them when we get into poses like downward dog, which is not intuitive to squeeze your glutes. To engage, come on up, lift, and let's do a single leg. This is going to be even more challenging. Can you press down through the arms and pull your right knee towards your chest, and just hold for a moment, lift and lower your hips an inch and up, inch down and up, down and up from that glute squeeze. Good. Switch. Place your right foot flat, left knee to the chest. These are super challenging. A couple of lift and lower, just glute therapy here. Thinking about the engagement as you lift and lower. It's a small movement, but both feet flat again. You might be able to elevate your hips one more time. And then we'll lower back down and pull the knees in and take any kind of movement or stretch that feels nice. Let's take a twist. Arms out to the side, let your legs fall to the right. Spreading out through the chest, and we're trying to get the lower back to round a little bit to kind of soothe the work that it just did, supporting that movement. When your glutes fail, go ahead and switch to the other side. When your glutes fail to do the work, then your legs, right, those quadriceps often, or your lower back, have to pick up the slack. And while they are strong muscular areas as well, we want them all working together. We want them to work together. Good. Come back to the center. And bring yourself up any way that feels good. Either rolling to the side or just pushing up. Come onto all fours. I'm starting to feel it already. Spread your fingers, come into a nice solid table position so you could support the baby elephant sitting on your bra strap, right, on that middle back. So belly and ribs pull in a little bit. Unlock your elbows, look forward, slightly lift your tail, breathe in for cow. And as you exhale, round for Halloween cat. And move forward and back in this way with the cycle of your breath. Next time you exhale, let's go into a child's pose. Lengthen out that back even more. And walk your hands forward and then rest your head on the floor. Take one deep, full cycling breath. And then take a crescent pose from here, so walk your hands to the right. Take a big opening on that left side. And go to the other side. Lengthening out the right side of the waist, still anchoring those hips. And come back to center. We're going to come back onto all fours. And again, I want you to feel as if you could hold and stabilize a nice heavy weight. It's like a baby elephant, because that's absurd. That's a large weight. Good. I want you to bring your knees together a little bit closer, because we're going to find a balance here. We're going to extend your right leg back, kick that heel back, and I want you to feel the glute squeeze on your right butt. You're looking slightly forward, and as you extend the leg, we're trying not to lean left. Try not to lean left. Good, just place that knee down again. And the same leg, extend. Push that leg behind you, kick that heel into the back wall, and place the knee back down. So keep extending that leg. Maybe keep your eyes fixed on a point, and I want you to find where the action is initiated. Find that engagement in the bottom. Go one more time, extension on this side. Kick that heel into the back wall, and then you're going to bend the knee and hold up the ceiling. So we're all holding up the ceiling together. Try not to sink forward through the chest or belly. And can you lift the ceiling up an inch higher from squeezing the bottom of your bottom? Good. Extend the leg back out and place it to the floor. We're going to go into the other side. So first, just extend that left heel back and feel your bottom engaging, and place the knee back down. Move slowly so you can sense that you stay square in the chest and the shoulders. We're not leaning over to the right. This is a lot of thinking. Usually during therapy time, we do a lot of thinking and sensing of the body, so the breath kind of shortens. That's okay, because we'll get to breathing when we flow. But if you catch yourself holding your breath, then try to let it flow. Let's extend the leg. Let's take a moment here for that exhale. And push it into the back wall, and then bend. And a little lift of the ceiling, a little bit higher. Your belly will tone even more. Good. Do you have the shakes? Because I do. My arms are shaking. And place it back down. Downward dog is going to feel good, but if your arms are shaking too much, child's pose. But what I like about down dog here is that oh, my hamstrings get a little relief. Because again, the hamstrings are secondary support there. So let's see, try out a down dog. Yeah, everybody's there, good. And take a walk, bring your feet to your hands. Place your hands on your shins, take your extension, pull your chest forward. Good, and grab your butt. Grab your butt. Yep, hold on to those hips. Good, roll your shoulders back, press your chest even more forward, and I have a nice bend in my knees here. Good. I want you to feel the contraction of your butt as you stand up. You're going to hinge and stand up. Butt squeezing to lift your chest. Take a deep breath in, and then come halfway down again. Your butt is stretching here in order to bring your chest forward. Good, let's fold and let your arms hang. Go ahead, you can bend your knees, sway your hips, relax your head. But let's look again at the function of your glutes in the basically reverse swan dive, which we do a lot in vinyasa. Good, hands to your shins first. Find a nice L shape in the body. Mine's a bent L because I keep the knees bent. That just feels better. And actually, it will help you find your glutes. Grab it, grab your butt. Push into your heels. Keep your spine nice and long and stand up. Let's reach up now. Exhale, swan dive and forward fold. Relax your head. Inhale, extend. Exhale, forward bend. Try to reverse swan dive, again, reaching your arms out, but still feeling the engagement of the butt as you come up. If you don't feel it, then keep the knees bent. Hands to heart as you exhale. Again, this is called half Surya Namaskar. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale and fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, and a slow rise all the way up to stand again. Push into those heels. I've got one lazy glute. My left one is a little lazier than my right. Hands to heart. Let's do one more. So I just take that moment there. Inhale, arms up. Take that moment to focus and feel it. Attention, awareness, activation. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Rise up when you're ready. Take up a lot of space from that strong foundation. Good, hands to heart. How's it going? Good. Let's flow a little. Inhale, arms rise. Deep breath in. Exhale and fold. Relax that head before you step back. Right foot now. Step it back. Drop a knee. Squeeze those legs in. That's partly the glute squeeze as you rise. Anjaneyasana. And dissolve. Hands down. Now, as you take this left leg back to downward dog, glutes are engaged in that movement. So come into dog and then flow into your plank pose. Come forward and feel the squeeze in your glutes here. Find that squeeze and push back to dog again. Try not to let it go. Inhale, flow forward. It's easier in plank. Can you feel it more easily? I can feel it more easily. Glutes engaged. See if you can hold them engaged as you go back to dog. One more time, forward. And exhale back. This time we'll go through our vinyasa. Come forward. Knees can come down first. Come onto that belly. Good. Press your feet down. Pull your heart forward. I should see butt wrinkles here in your pants. Easier here to find the glute squeeze, right? It's a little bit easier here. Pull forward and down, push back to downward facing dog, your way. From down dog, right leg reaches into the sky. Guess what's helping you reach that leg back? those happy butts. Take a step forward, drop the back knee. Squeezing, engaging to rise up, lift your chest, lift your thumbs, and dissolve. Hands down, step forward, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise up, all the way up. Just put your mind in your butt. Plenty of space in there, hands to heart. It's plenty of space for mind in your butt. Let's do it again. Arms rise. Exhale and fold. Inhale, left foot back, drop a knee. Anjaneyasana. Rise. And dissolve. Hands down, step back to dog. Come into plank. And I want you to go back to dog again just once. Find that engagement. Good. Come forward again. Find your way down to the floor. Chaturanga. Find your back bend. Cobra or upward dog. Pause there to find that support on the pelvis. Yep. Come back, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky. Find that squeeze in the Batasana there. Step forward, drop a knee. Rise up. Open to your peak. And dissolve. Step forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward bend. Rise up. And hands to heart. Good. Chair pose. Bend those knees. I'm going to grab my butt again. Chair pose. Chest nice and high. You should have a curve in your lower back, a natural curve. Remember, if you've got space like me between your feet, then you don't want your knees knocking. You want to point the center of the knees somewhere between the second and third toe. Good. And I'm finding my glutes engaging. We're going to just lift up, push into your heels. I'm still holding my bottom here, and then back down. And lift, and back down. Good. If you would like, arms can come up as you stand and stay up. Look how my hips are moving back in space, just coming up and down a few times here, lifting and lowering. Instead of my knees moving forward in space, my hips are sliding back. A couple more times, just to feel the feels, especially on that way back up, pressing into the heels, squeezing. Last time, hold in the chair for a moment, and then push into your heels, stand back up, and see if you can hold the engagement, a light engagement of your bottom. Swan dive, exhale, forward bend. Relax your head. And then I'll meet you in downward dog. Can you just step back? Right leg into the sky, down dog split. Take a step forward, rise up warrior two. You're gonna open. First time we've opened our hips since we started class. So we're just gonna give it a moment. So again, the center of this knee, trying to reach out and externally rotate. More, mom, more, mom, more. Oh, there it goes. Thank you. Right between that second and third toe. Chest spread open. Good. Do you want to grab your butt? Oh, Don't relax your butt. Find that engagement. Feels good, right? Feels good. Arms come back out when you're ready. And they stay the same. So as you reverse warrior, reach up and away, find that foundation from your feet to your legs to your butt. Come forward, side angle pose. Same thing. There's so many areas of your body you can pay attention to. Just for today, we're gonna put your head in your butt. How does it feel here? Rise back up, warrior two. And hands to the floor. Step back, your choice. Go for vinyasa or preserve your energy. Go to down dog or take your child's pose. Listen to your body. From down dog, we'll take the left leg high and step forward. And warrior two, rise up slow. And again, really trying to externally rotate. I'm gonna grab my bottom and see what's happening. Feel it. After a while, you won't need to use your hands, right? Once your body has learned when to engage, when to turn on, then it will happen automatically. Spread your arms. Hold steady at your base, reverse warrior. Breathe in. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, warrior two. And hands to the floor. Back to downward dog your way, either through a vinyasa, take your time. Downward dog. Good, right leg to the sky, very nice. Let's take a shy step forward. So your foot's gonna come not all the way to your hands. Make sure each of your feet has their own lane of traffic. Bend your back knee, hold your hips, look forward, and rise up. Good, so I've got a nice bend in my front knee with good alignment. Hip, knee, and ankle. And I've got a nice bend in my back knee, and I'm gonna lift and lower. It's a little bounce. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Find some buoyancy. Feel the squeeze. We're gonna go bounce, bounce, bounce. I'm gonna stay nice and tall, left knee to chest. And then back again. Step back and land. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Hi-ya! Knee to chest. Take your time. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Knee. Yep, go at your own pace. Use the furniture if you need. All right, you can grab the wall or the chair. We're building some fast twitch muscle fibers. This is great for catching yourself when you fall, right? When you trip a little bit. So we're gonna do two more. I've also noticed that I'm staring at one point on the door across from me, which is helping. After you come into that knee to chest, we're gonna hold. And hold here in balance. Good. Grab your knee, lift it up a little higher. Let's go into tree pose. Let's go into tree. Foot somewhere on the inside of the leg. Grab your bottom. What's happening in tree? So the second type of functional movement your glutes are used for is hip rotation, external rotation, which is what's happening now with your left leg. The thigh bone is externally rotating, especially that left glute is feeling some engagement now. Let's lift our arms up. Hold the wall if you need. Breathe. Take up space. Smile for wobbles if it's a wobbly day. Laugh it off, it doesn't matter. It's just yoga. Just yoga, hands to your heart. Warrior three. I'm gonna push that left heel behind me and find my glute squeeze, that engagement. So think about that strong wrap around the back of your pelvis, down through your leg bones. Good, land in warrior two. We're gonna straighten our front leg and turn the feet to become parallel, hands to your hips. You have earned a wide leg forward fold, but we've learned that these are also involved in your fold. So let's start, hands on your hips, feet are parallel. Lift your chest, take a baby back bend. And then I want you to come about halfway down. So I'm parallel to the floor. I am definitely unlocking my knees here, taking a little bend. Now you could grab your bottom again and slowly rise back up with a nice straight spine. Do you feel the engagement? Go down again, halfway. Breathing out and squeezing to lift back up. One more time. Your hamstrings and your back are supporting this as well. One more lift. Good. And this time we'll take a fold. Take your full fold. But paying attention again. My hands are grabbing the ankles. Yours could be on the floor. It doesn't matter. I'm paying attention to my butt and how it might be supporting this movement. Even though it feels like we're still, there's a pulsing here that happens with your breath. Good. Hands come to your hips, come halfway up, breathe in. Breathe out right here, rise back up from the squeeze. Good, turn your right foot forward and we'll come down, dissolve, your choice. Step back, downward dog, or go through a vinyasa sequence. Last week we talked about all those options in vinyasas. So take the one that feels best for you. From down dog, left leg will rise. Take a shy step forward. Bend the back knee. Look forward. Grab your hips. Rise up. Toes pointing straight ahead. Knee over ankle. And also your hip. So your hip or your sitting bone are going to line up with your knee and ankle. They're in the same track. Couple bounces. So the bounces come from a squeeze in the legs and the hips. We're going to be sore later. Just letting you know, we're going to be sore because of all that mental attention you put into this exercise. 1, 2, 3, knee. Eyes focused. Little step and a land. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Knee. Go at your pace. Seriously, grab the furniture as you need. You're still building that fast twitch. Save yourself from tripping fiber. Save yourself fibers. You're still building it even if you're using a little assist from the wall. 2 more. Last one. We'll hold this one. Come into your version of tree. Maybe helping that foot up a little higher. Externally rotating the right thigh bone. I'm going to grab my Batasana again. Feel that work. Stabilizing the pelvis. Lifting your heart, and when you're ready, arms come up. Chin off your chest. Jaw relaxed. And I'm going to grab my hips. Warrior 3. Push that right heel back into space. From the squeeze of your right glute especially, there'll be wrinkles there. Sitting bones reaching together. Just a different look at Warrior 3. And then we're going to land Warrior 2 into, again, wide leg fold. Feet parallel. Hands to the hips. Baby back bend here. Just lift and open your chest. Exhale, come halfway down. Inhale, rise back up. Squeeze the glutes to rise back up. Exhale, halfway down. Unlocking the knees, lift back up, and we'll take a fold this time. Maybe taking your hands to a different place. You could either walk your hands forward, over your head. You could flip them back, walk them through the feet. You could interlace them behind your back. What does your body want to do right now? Last moment here. Hands will go back to your hips. Elbows point up, come halfway up, breathe in. Breathe out right where you are. Inhale, stand all the way up, pivot on your feet. And I'm going to meet you in downward dog. Last time, vinyasa, I promise. We're going to get to some stretching of those muscles now. Let's bring our knees down and come to sit and bring your legs in front of you. Good job. Glutes on fire. Okay. Talking about glutes. As soon as you sit down, they slide underneath your sitting bones. So in order to sit up with a neutral lumbar spine, we have to move them out of the way. First, glutes stretch, especially when they're very tight. It's very simple. You're going to bend your right knee and cross foot over thigh. So even this right here is a stretch for your hips. You might not feel much of anything. So we're going to add the twist. Sitting up nice and tall. Press down through your sitting bones. And even as you twist, and even as this side of the glute stretches, your right side, I still want you to hug them in and together. Keep them where they are on the floor and then rotate to the right. The breath out is going to get you there. You still might not feel too much. So here's an option. Left hand outside of the right foot. Pick up that foot and extend across. Doesn't have to straighten. Turn your chest, turn your head. Retract both shoulders. And again, squeezing a little bit from your bottom. Stabilize your twist. Good. Turn back to center. Release that foot down and walk it out to the side so you try and make the space between your thighs disappear. My glutes slid underneath me again. I'm going to pull them away just a little bit. Right foot is flexed. Half cow face legs. It's called Ardha Gomukhasana. We'll reach up. And we'll take a little bend forward. Now, because this leg is kind of pressuring down on the left leg, your hamstring on the left side is going to feel a lot of intensity. Anyone getting that? So if you need to, just pick up that bottom knee. It's more work, but you'll be able to get the stretch through the hip and lower back rather than just the left hamstring. Good. Rise back up. Arms up. I need like another hour for you guys. We're just going to stay an extra hour, okay? Now, right leg still in front. Modified double pigeon. Modified double pigeon. It's sort of like crisscross, but nothing's getting tucked under anything. So I'm moving my right foot in front of me. The left foot is kind of hiding under that right knee, but my right foot is pushed forward a little bit. Glutes out of the way of the sitting bones, and we're just gonna walk it forward. I'm just gonna walk it forward. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to lean left, lean right, walk your hands right, walk your hands left. I want you to look for tension and try to stay right there and breathe with that discomfort, that stretching feeling. It's going to be individual where you go. Wherever you are, take a breath. And then slowly rise back up. So I don't like to hold that one for too long. Otherwise, what happens is we kind of make all the work disappear. We create instability again, and then you get up from yoga class and walk to your car and you fall down. That's what happens. Good. Send your legs out straight. Let's do the other side. Bend your left knee, cross the foot. Good. Sit up nice and tall. My sitting bones down on the ground. We're going to turn to the left. Lift up through your chest. And then again, if you want to take this a little deeper, it's the leg extensions. My right hand can grab the outside of my left foot and maybe lift. Chest nice and open. If that's not serving you, keep it on the ground. Make a wise choice. Good. Return back to center for half face legs. Kind of walk that left foot over to the right. Make the space between your legs disappear. But again, if your right hamstring is just giving you a lot of resistance, pick up that right knee. The most ideal situation is actually to put a pillow or a blanket under here, or a block. If you have one, you can slide it under. Good. Find your length and find your essence of a fold. The essence of a fold. Heart forward, hips back and down. Think of reaching your sitting bones deep into the floor. Breathe in and out. And sometimes we've got to relax a little bit in order to let the muscles be found in the stretch. Let them be found and then released. Walk yourself back in, release your release that fold, and then double pigeon variation. Actually, it's a modification, doesn't really matter. Left shin in front, glutes out of the way, length, space, there you go, and heart forward. Hips still reaching back and down. So there should be a curve in your lower back. Should be some rounding. You can reach back and look for it and touch it. Rounding just above the waist of your pants. I'm leaning left, I'm leaning right, I'm walking over side to side, or maybe you already found it. Maybe you found the spot you want to stay for a couple moments. If all we do in yoga is stretch, we create an imbalance. I remember leaving yoga class when I was younger and just feeling so loosey-goosey, and emotionally and psychologically it felt so good. I felt so stress-free. But then I could have literally tripped on the sidewalk and Smash something. Walk your hands back in. Release it out. Let's take a counter stretch. Bring your feet apart and your knees together. Hands are behind you. So we want to find a balance between strength, stability, and mobility. You can let one knee drop down and in. Take some windshield wipers. And we're ready to come onto your back. Bring your knees in towards your chest. And if you're feeling like you need some more wipers, please take them. We're going to do one more release and one stretch. Actually, let's do it together. I'm going to scrap my last plan. Arms will come out to the side. Let them relax on the floor with your palms up. Feet are wide apart. Mine are like wider than the mat. Drop your knees to the right. Just rest on the back of your head. If you want, you can pick up your right foot, cross it over your left knee. It just adds weight and a little bit of pull across your left leg and hip and side. Any shortening or compression or zings or numbness means you've gone too far. Good. Release that foot back to the floor. Switch sides, knees to the left. That might be enough. Nice wide windshields, just letting the weight of the thigh bones drop down with gravity. Or maybe your left foot picks up and crosses the, it's not the knee exactly. I'm on the thigh bone. My heel is putting pressure against my right thigh bone. And I'm trying to just let gravity take over. Good. Release that side. Knees back to center and in towards your chest. Lengthen your lower back. Rock a little side to side to lengthen that back. And let's take a happy baby, your version of happy baby. The first version, stage 1, is just holding behind the knees. Stage 2, you start to lift your feet and walk your hands maybe to the ankles. And stage 3 is maybe holding the feet. I'm looking for you to have a release in your back. So, for example, I'm noticing grabbing my feet today is not giving me that. So I'm going to just hold the ankles and back off. You can rock it side to side. You can straighten your legs out to wide V. Slowly release your feet so you're in a little ball on your back, head resting. Let your knees rock a little more side to side. And as you're ready, you can extend the legs. I would recommend putting your legs up over the couch or a chair. But if you're happy where you are, don't feel like moving, just take regular shavasana. But because we work the glutes, it means our lower back also was assisting today. And so getting your legs up would be so nourishing. Find a position that feels good. Tuck the shoulders under, relax your jaw and your head. Close your eyes. Take a rest. Draw a nice deep breath in. Let it travel. Feel yourself letting go. Even before you move, can you feel the life in your butt? Can you feel the life in your glutes, even as they're relaxed? Can you just connect to the potential there? You might even let them squeeze a little bit and move without having to touch them, without having to move your legs. That support is always there. It's a very large, strong group of muscles to support your whole foundation. When you're ready, bring your knees to your chest. Take some feel-good movements. Come on up to sit up the way you like. Even as you sit, there's a possibility, there's a potential there to have a little squeeze. It makes me laugh a little while I think about it, right? So here's what I want you to notice today. We're not going to do it together because you're going to turn off your meeting. You're going to leave the meeting, but I want you to be aware of the moment that you get off the floor and how you do it, right? Think about your butt. That's what I mean. Let's take our hands in, take a nice deep breath in, let it go. Thank you.